great grandfather came from India and just came for Hajj and just stayed here.
Yeah.
He's like offering us Indian sweets. Like he's like a 4th generation Indian.
Yeah.
It was just like
no,
so awesome.
We've got friends like
people
that.
were saying
This guy.
Australian extremists stormed this building, this mosque, this room, where people were saying their prayers and going about their business. And for me, the saddest thing about that, it wasn't the 52 people who were killed. It wasn't the countless others who had their lives changed forever because their family members were taken from them. It was the hundreds of people that night who couldn't make it home from nightclubs in Christchurch because all the cabbies were dead.
Hang on, Morty. Hang on.
This Australian extremists stormed this building, this
Where's
mosque, this room.
All right, here we go. Okay.
So wait, let me just.
Yeah. Look. Before you get onto it, he even responds to it.
Wait, can I just make my comment and you can tell me what he says?
All right,
I'm
go
doing the
ahead.
initial response.
All right. Go ahead. You're so eager.
Yeah, because I feel like I don't want to read what he said after all the people jump on him. Right?
All right,
It's not sincere anymore. Let me say my original reaction, and then you can say what the hell he said.
Go ahead, reaction. We'll title this video "Mort Reacts."
Label it Mort Reacts. No, but the thing is, like, listen, if he would have said that about something about that happened to the Jews or Christians or anybody else, Muslims would have been laughing their butts off, right? This is part of comedy, right? It happens, and apparently, from what I know about this guy, he's not some douchebag. Like, he actually, wrote some stuff about what happened in Christchurch. He went and donated money, went there. Actually, he didn't just like, it's a joke. It's comedy. Comedy is morbid.
So one of the main things people have to understand is that you're not going to. Yes, it's horrible. It's not my type of comedy where you laugh at the misery or the deaths of others, no matter what religion it is or anything like that. But it's a form of comedy that his thing, his niche is being offensive and being horrible towards something that is very tragic. And for example, Ari Shafir made fun of Kobe's death after he died.
Yeah.
Right? And he was completely killed online for it. And people were outraged and saying that, it's completely horrible what you're doing. Making fun of Kobe. I can't remember exactly what he did, but he went in front of he called him like a rapist and stuff like that. But the thing about whether
I'm sorry, this kind of comedy makes me laugh.
Yeah. So holy crap! Look at this guy's. Let it out, bro.
I'm laughing because. No, because look, honestly, we all make these kind of jokes, right?
We do, but we all have like our own
Yeah, but he's an entertainer. He gets paid to do that.
But like even when we're not on air, we have our own like really raunchy humor, right? But that's like some kind of happy middle ground we found in our space, right? And I think with what's funny, like.
Okay, but you know the thing is, I feel like it kind of ties into what we were talking about earlier about power. You get what I'm saying? Like,
wait, is this some critical race theory stuff?
I don't even know what that is. I'm just from my own opinion.
Yeah, you never heard of the critical race theory?
I heard about it honestly, and I was thinking about looking into the podcast, and I was just like, this is a waste of time. Like, I'm not even.
They're the people behind all the words, the speak,
like microaggression and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't subscribe to identity politics.
It's like the social justice warriors religion.
That's because you're part of the patriarchy.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. What were you saying?
It's like, okay, I won't use any fancy words. I don't even know fancy words. Yeah. But like, I'm just saying, like, it's different if like, for example, let's say you got like a white dude standing in front of an audience of black people, right? And makes a slavery joke.
Yeah.
It's completely different if it's reverse. You get what I'm saying? Because it actually happened. Like, it's not. You get what I'm saying? So like. If he would have made that joke about, like, let's say, like, the Holocaust, right? He would have been on Canary Mission.
What's Canary Mission?
Don't even get me started.
So like his style of comedy.
But he has made fun of the Jews
he's made fun of everyone.
Yeah.
And that style of comedy says that there should be nothing off limits, and everything should be able to be made fun of in the name of comedy, in the name of
just good humor.
Just humor, and there's nothing evil behind it.
You ever seen the roast with like Seth? That guy, what's his name? Not Rogan. The other guy, what's his?
You're talking about the Comedy Central roast?
Yeah, the roast. Right? Like, there's nothing like everything is game.
But do you guys like really believe that they follow that ideology wholeheartedly? Because
on the roasts.
Nothing is off limits.
Yeah, I mean, they make fun of Hitler and the Jews. Like, I mean, they go, they go buck wild.
Because here's for example, like a lot of people talk about like free speech, and like they're advocates of free speech no matter what, constitutional rights. I'm like, you don't really believe in free speech. If somebody like from ISIS came out with the flag in the middle of the street, you're not gonna tell them, yeah, you got free speech. Guantanamo. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, we know that.
This guy.
Are there actual limits in these jokes?
There are.
No, he even made fun of 9/11 victims.
Did he?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So if he did that, then I guess this is okay.
Like, I'm not saying I would like those jokes. I don't. I'm just saying.
This is what I'm saying. That he's not singling out Muslims. Like, if he was like just making fun of Muslims, I'd be like, all right, the guy's a douchebag. Let's go punch him in the face, right? But if you do that for everybody, and plus this guy actually lashed out on the politicians in New Zealand for allowing this guy to get guns and stuff, and he actually went to New Zealand and went there and visited that stuff, right? So I think I guess what I'm trying to say is he is just doing something for entertainment purposes, for people paying for him to do, versus off the show, his real life personality, like how he treats people is different.
Yeah. So when you go to one of his shows, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get comedy that is, just completely offensive, and it's just gonna. You're there to laugh about that, and for some people, I'm not saying me or anyone here, but sometimes laughing at tragedy is a way to cope with it, I guess.
Here's the thing. If that's his thing, if he actually does that, cool. Like, I'm not a fan of those jokes personally, but like if that's his thing, cool. But like I think like the problem is people don't know. I don't even know him, right? Yeah. So I just assumed this is just a comedian douchebag like attacking Muslims. You know what I mean?
Like that Ahmad guy, Akbar, the puppet thing he was doing. Who's that guy?
Ahmad, the dead terrorist?
Yeah, that thing. Like, that was, to me, was like, okay, it's lame. You're just targeting Muslims. Like that's his routine.
How's that? I kill you. Like, how's that funny? Like,
yeah, it's not funny to me, Like, and that was his routine, like his whole thing he would do across the country.
That's a whole different thing.
And for me, like
a routine versus a joke.
This is just like one joke, yeah.
Well, and also one of the things is it's an unintended consequence of comedy such as this is that it gets picked up by white nationalists and used by them in their own entertainment. And yes, people could say, yes, it's so what? So what if they do? There's plenty of other things that are related to things that would make them upset from that same comedian. But it's just something to think about in that regard, that white nationalists can and will probably use things like this for their own entertainment purposes.
True, but white nationalists also use stuff that some of our own sheikhs say about Jews. So I mean, they love it too. Like, I've seen like them distribute that stuff. Right?
The Mufti of Jerusalem.
Ryan Gosling. Yeah. Like, dude, there's a growing trend of like these radical white nationalists that they want to adopt like Islamic principles but make it into white nationalism because they think that they think that like Muslims are like up like their principles, like they believe they don't back down. Mm-hmm. They have like jihad fi sabilillah, like they don't care about anything.
Particularly Muslim people are very, very upset at an insensitive joke that I made in my recent comedy special, Anti-Hero. It's a joke that I was telling probably 12 months prior to that being taped. Key word there is, it is a joke. It is not real. It is make-believe. I don't really feel like that, but that is what comedy is. It is people going on a stage and telling people jokes. Now, I know the stand-up you may be used to is just little jokes about, the train and the tram. No, that is not the stand-up I enjoy. I enjoy the Jim Jeffries of the world, the Jimmy Carrs of the world, the Frankie Boyles of the world, the Ricky Gervais of the world. Was the joke rude, horrible, mean, offensive? Yes. And that is the point. People are demanding that I apologise, saying I must be cancelled. Look at these Instagram DMs just scrolling through it. It doesn't end. There were thousands, literally thousands. When people laughed at that joke, they had the same reaction that I did when I wrote it. I thought to myself, oh, that's f***ing horrible. Oh my God. That is the reaction. Because everyone knows what happened in Christchurch is horrible. But we laugh about horrible things all the time. It's how people deal with tragedy. People didn't go home from that show. Those 2,000 people that you saw in that video there, they didn't leave that show and go, you know what, now I don't like this particular religious group or this coloured person. No. They went, they laughed, they came home, and that was it. Because am I actually happy that this outrageous and horrible tragedy happened to people? Of course not. But this is the type of humour that I and many people, including the people that come to my shows, enjoy. Offensive shock humour. Some of the biggest comedians that have ever existed have done the exact same thing. They say the most up things imaginable, but they say it on a stage. They are a comedian. It is a joke. It is not real. It is make-believe. I genuinely care about everyone, regardless of your skin colour. I don't care what your religion is. If you treat me with respect, I will treat you with that same respect. But in comedy, as a comedian, either everything is okay or nothing is okay. And ladies and gentlemen, I genuinely believe that everything is okay.
Okay, so...
What does that shirt say?
And then,
That's his mother.
Can be dick think.
What is that?
I don't know. Maybe some album he's doing. I don't know. But I noticed that too.
The only thing I can look at. Anyways.
Thank you. I'm glad you pointed that out. I was trying to pay attention to the message, but apparently what he was saying is, his style of comedy is that everything is okay. He later on goes in that video and he shows footage from after Christchurch where he was pouring his heart out towards the victims of the tragedy. And do I believe he's a horrible person? No. Do I think that he should be canceled? Absolutely not. I just think that if you don't like that kind of comedy, just turn it off. Don't pay attention to it and just leave it. He's not a horrible person. I don't think he has any malicious intent towards...
He's not an Islamophobe.
Yeah, he's not... Direct your energy towards people who
like
are,
Robert Spencer, like David Wood, like idiots like, Pamela Geller, like that legitimately hate Islam.
Do you think David Wood actually hates Islam?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, hell yeah, he hates Islam.
Okay, because I thought...
he's the one who debated Muhammad Hijab.
No, because it wasn't... who was that debater that we had that... Bassam or someone.
Bassam Zawadi?
He was saying that he likes some of the arguments David wouldn't... not necessarily that he likes them.
He's talking about Nabil Qureshi.
Oh, what's it? Okay.
Yeah, Nabil Qureshi, I think that he was genuine kind of in more of a way, but he was sneaky about it, but he was not as hateful as... David Wood and Sam Shimon are.
Yeah, go after these people, not Jimmy.
Not this guy
what's his name?
who just makes
Joey
a joke.
Diaz.
Right.
We're trying to cancel him.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, we watch a lot of comedy.
We do,
right?
and we're big
like
fans.
C.K. Lewis is extremely offensive.
C.K. Lewis.
Yeah.
Louis C.K.
Louis C.K.
Oh,
bro.
Lewis, I'm sorry. Yeah, Louis C.K. I'm sorry.
C.S. Lewis?
You're thinking. You're dyslexic thinking.
I'm like, I know. I'm backward. We started thinking.
Calvin
Yeah,
Klein,
Louis C.K. Is extremely offensive. Right? Like George Carlin was extremely offensive.
Bill
right?
Burr.
Yeah, extremely offensive.
Bill Burr.
Yeah, if that's your thing, go for it.
Yeah.
But like,
So
Islamophobia is a whole different...
We watched
and
the
me
stuff...
personally, I love the Comedy Central roast. Like, I watch all of
Me
them.
and more, I mean, this was our thing back in the mid 2000s. We just would find the raunchiest, horrible comedy, and we would just play that. I mean, it was like a competition of finding the worst, horrible comedians just to listen to. It was
This
like,
one Amr was Azhar?
yeah.
And when Amr had came back from Egypt, like he was in the shock world because we were just shocking him with these jokes.
So you know, like a lot of these guys that you guys see on Rogan and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I used to watch them since I was a kid. Joey Diaz, I knew about him since I was a kid, dude.
Yeah.
I've known about all these guys since I was a kid because I just loved comedy so much.
Do you know like Dave Chappelle's ghostwriter, the guy who used to write for him, Paul Mooney, is hilarious, but he is so offensive. Like he's like, hey, crazy
Dave
white
Chappelle's
lady. Like,
jokes.
the stuff that he talks
Dave
about.
Chappelle's jokes are pretty...
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, look, many of these jokes for some of you guys, it's not going to be your cup of tea, but other horrible, offensive jokes you've probably laughed at. Most of us watched Chris Rock's comedy specials on HBO. Those were crazy offensive, really bad language.
Kevin
and everything.
Hart is offensive.
Yeah.
Have you seen Andrew Schultz?
Andrew Schultz, I love him, dude.
What he
Andrew Schultz
does,
is one of the best.
like during his shows, like he'll just... The whole front row gets roasted. It's just...
Oh man,
Hilarious.
Oh, this is what I'm talking about. Like we watch stuff where people people get roasted all the time. And
I'm all for people roasting, you know, but like I wouldn't make like a slavery or a Holocaust joke.
People
like,
do.
That's my limit.
But people do that, right? And like, and you know what? To be honest, like I feel like that yes, for some people it's going to be offensive. It's not humor for everybody.
Yeah.
But if you're an avid comedy fan, like you watch comedy, you're gonna come across certain comedians that behave that way, but their delivery is just freaking awesome, and you just you know it's just entertainment. It's just that. It's nothing beyond that.
Did you ever watch that one Key and Peele skit where they had they were making fun of this handicapped guy, some disabled person?
Wait,
that sounds funny.
You know, you know what reminds me of? You know who's funny as hell to me, and he has the most offensive stuff that he makes humor about? Larry David. He makes the fun out of everything. I mean, there's an episode where he gets mad at Michael J. Fox for having Parkinson's.
Dude, what's that dude from Adult Swim? Andre, you know what I'm talking about? The dude that went to the Trump rally and like was just peeing on the wall.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I forgot his name. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, his show is just.
Yeah. Remember Tosh 2.0? People would be like, "What the hell is this? This guy's making." Yeah. I mean, there's stuff like this that people watch, and we watch it sometimes, and we pass these clip around. It may not be the politically correct thing to do, but many of you in your WhatsApp group have gotten offensive jokes. I bet you right now, all of you could open your WhatsApp and probably find some offensive joke or meme in your WhatsApp.
I love offensive jokes, but like personally for me, like my limit is death. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, okay, like for example, I was listening to like a Joe Rogan special, right? And he was just like making fun of Muslims. I was just like, whatever, skip this part, just keep going. You know what I mean? He was a funny guy.
I get it. Yeah. I mean, but see, that's the thing. Like, you wouldn't cancel all of Joe Rogan just for that one part, right? Like, whatever. I mean, yeah, we expect that from them, right? But I'm saying in general, I don't think this dude genuinely wants to just come after Muslims. He made one joke about it. It wasn't like his whole special was about Muslims.
You know what's interesting about Rogan though? It's like he'll bring notable Muslims on, but not to talk about Islam. Like,
and then he'll bring people who are notable anti-Islam, like
to talk
about Islam.
I want to see him bring like a Muhammad Hijab.
I would love to see him Firas Zahabi just